I have recommended Senior1Care services many times. The first two times were in 2016 and then in 2017. A call from my cousin in Denver telling me he was on the way to visit his dad who had fallen, and they wanted to keep him at home because he had previously a bad experience in rehabilitation. I got that call at about 7 o'clock at night, and I called Carl at 10 and said, "Carl, I've got a problem. I don't know what you guys can do, but we need help because we need to keep my cousin at home." Carl showed up at 8 o'clock in the morning with a supervisor and a caretaker on my recommendation of the personalities, and that turned out terrific. So in 2017, my best friend and golf partner was suffering from a relapse of cancer, and his wife called me in a panic on Friday night again, and I ended up calling Carl at 10 o'clock at night on Friday, and sure enough, Saturday morning, Carl was there with a supervisor and a caretaker, and in both cases matched up very well, meeting the needs of both the caretakers and the client. And both were very successful in terms of meeting the needs of both the patient and the family members. Well, actually, I enjoy recommending Senior1Care for several reasons. One, my mother was living independently, and at the time Senior1Care didn't exist. And I was out of town, my brother was out of town, my sister was out of town, and we felt there was no other alternative but to put her in assisted living. And she really didn't want to go. And it would have extended her time and given her a much more pleasant life. The second thing is once she was in assisted living and her health care was deteriorating, and they, as you know, constantly grade them, and wanted to put her in a nursing home, we tried to extend her time in assisted living by, at that time, bringing in independent contractors. In addition to that, I recommended Senior1Care then, obviously, to extend those times. But when somebody has a traumatic event, as I mentioned in the other two cases, and people want to stay at home, you can provide various services with the amount of time necessary to assist both the family members and give them peace of mind, but also meet the needs of the client. I have been impressed with Senior1Care. After the first two instances, Carl invited me over to see the offices and understand better what Senior1Care was, because frankly, I didn't know when I first called him. I was reaching out, not really knowing what the services were. And so as I toured the office, I was very impressed with the scheduling system and the number of people you have available, both supervisors and caretakers, and to match up with the case. I was very impressed from the moment I walked into the office, and I was introduced as Don DeGroff, and my cousin's name was DeGroff. Everybody knew, oh yeah, we took care of D. DeGroff. Nice man, and thank you for recommending us. But probably the thing that impressed me the most was your continuing education and the certification of caretakers, which I understand you're the only facility north of Indianapolis that can do that. And so I really appreciate that dedication to continuing education and certification. I think you being in Elkhart County is a good thing for me. I'm one day going to probably need your services, and you being here is terrific. Could be my wife, I suppose. But by you being here, both you and Carl, the supervisors, the caretakers, are going to establish one-on-one relationships with the nurses, the doctors, the other agencies, and so in providing a total care to a patient and to a family by you having those one-on-one relationships, I think you'll be more effective. Well, I would rate the quality as a 10 out of 10. I think the responsiveness obviously was outstanding, but also the care that was taken to match up the people, and right from the beginning. But as needs change, both from the family members and the patient, the supervisor was constantly going in, reassessing the needs as the progress of care happened, and adjusting the services as needed. I do recommend Senior1Care, and I'm pleased with the results.